Hello. Now a little bit about the political party schemes. The political parties are to organize themselves the same way as is suggested for the state in chapter 3, and to play everything as if it were a real state. That way the party is internally highly democratic, the base remains in control of the party, and at the same time the people practice with the system and can find mistakes in the system if there are any. So you have the voter groups, the local councils, the twice elected councils, the central council, the head of state. You can have a security force. You can have a lot of things within the context of the law of the nation, if that law is acceptable. Because if there is real tyranny, then perhaps you should be breaking the law of the tyranny. However, if the law is reasonable and the people generally agree with it, it's probably best to do only those things which are allowed by the law. In any case, this is a political party, so then there is apparently a vote in the nation possible, so there is some semblance of democracy. These colors are off limits for the political party because they are reserved for the sovereign government, especially during the revolution. Hence, children insignia and other symbols do not have the color scheme blue on white. They can have other color schemes. Everything can be played by these political parties, including additional systems. Parties have a registration of the members. One of the important ways in which the system maintains the control over the party is by checking at the gate. When someone wants to join, they become part of the absolute democracy. Hence, it would be nice that there was some confidence that it could be a loyal member. Because if the door is wide open, then infiltrations could easily spoil the whole party. There are to be many parties in this system, which can all vary with respect to each other, so that all kinds of people can find a party that suits them. But more importantly, if this party becomes corrupt, then the members can go to another party. So these parties go simultaneously towards the same goal, but they maintain organizational independence. Hence, there would be in one nation a number of perhaps one party per million or even 100,000 persons. if the voting system does not allow such a splintering to gain power, such as it would allow in Holland, but in some other nations it doesn't, then one would need to organize some sort of confederation. Such a grouping that the power is retained by the individual parties as most as is possible. The confederation is a coming together where the central decisions have to be ratified by the various members. And there may not even be a central body, but it may simply be a collection of the various top bodies who discuss the future. That would be probably the most reasonable way to do this, without risking the integration, so that eventually there is one party and then it has an enormous weight of responsibility in the system for the nation, and then it may make a mistake and it can admit the mistake, and if there is an independence, then one party can attack another for mistakes. And once something becomes very large, it tends to suck in the people who only want to play for the winner, and then becomes even larger, and then it may become the problem rather than the solution. The international part of this system is not organized. It only exists as a list of the decisions that various national, if this is one nation, this is another, and this is another, if these two parties agree to a certain position or something like this, then it could be registered as so and so party made a so and so decision, and that way there does not emerge an international integrated body of governance, which would obviously become corrupt, perhaps even before it even exists. This means that all David's system international party endeavors, they can use this flag to symbolize that this is an international issue agreed to by various parties. So if a Belgian and a Dutch party and a German party were to agree on something, a position, an activity, something, they can publish it under this flag. When in the Philippines and in Indonesia two parties agree on something or perhaps disagree on something, they can use this flag also, and that's the international part of the system. It exists almost only in order to make it not exist. This way we prevent an international organization from assuming central global control and having undue influence. It also means that in the international there is an infinite amount of opinions under this flag, this system. These parties can obviously engage in all manner of propaganda to lobby the public for a new system. that it may occur. Party members are also encouraged to say that if their party becomes corrupt, that they will leave this party, so that there is no party loyalty. Then there is the issue of money. The idea here is that political money corrupts, and that people with enormous amount of cash can set up all the parties they want to dominate the whole system. The parties become dependent on the income of the finance money. They will therefore not be politically inclined to make decisions against that money. Hence, the monthly fee to be a member of this David System party would be 0. And only when the party members want something, so maybe they want to hire a place for a discussion, maybe they want to send out a magazine, then at that point those members doing this decide how they will pay for it. If nobody wants to pay anything, then we do everything outside or in living rooms or with no cash. Messengers want to volunteers. You want to drink coffee at the meeting? You can give a little money for it. It's very key because the enemy will set up these parties, perhaps certainly in the beginning, with more zeal and money than the real parties are being set up. Then the funded parties will gain all the media attention, who is under control of the same money enemy. They will dominate, they will then be in a position to corrupt, to lie, to pretend that it doesn't work, to exaggerate failures, and to betray the people.